Hi everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here to do the second part of my layout share for March. Let's see, it's the 28th, so it's, the month's almost done. There's a couple more days left. I may get one or two more layouts done, but I'm not really holding myself to that. If they get done, that's awesome, but if not, that's fine as well. I did have a goal to get 25 layouts done this month, and I believe I got to almost 20, so that's pretty good. I did participate in Calvin Ball this year, and that was really fun. It helped me get a lot done. And I have to say, some of these layouts are some of my favorite layouts I think I may have ever made, so let me get into them for you. This one is one that I did for my Obsessed with Caddy and Chrissy series that I do. We're still in the middle of using Dear Lizzie documentary, and for this episode we had to use this really pretty yellow striped, the flags or the triangles up here, this teal, and then there's this little shade of black as well. I didn't get much of the black used, but that was part of it. And then we also did a recipe, so you had to use some stamping. You had to use 3 pieces of ephemera, which I did here, here, and here. You had to use one of these awesome cork bows, a flare, I used a wood button, kind of the same thing, something deep in our stash, which I did this washi tape, and stitching, and I believe that's it. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. This is documenting my son's pool and how much he loved to hang out and splash and all of that. I even was able to use a rub-on, and I'm working on using up these stickers. I still have a lot left, but I'm trying to get them used up as much as possible. So there's that. This one was just kind of a fun one. I was watching a video, and she had done a layout where you do mixed media on a whole piece of a 12 by 12 piece of plastic, and you do whatever, and then you flip, so like you would flip this out so that you get the mixed media. And then I just did even more mixed media with some modeling paste, and the colors kind of lent themselves to a beach photo. And so I turned this into using it as my Victoria Marie Facebook design team episode for this month. And Sarah Swan and I decided to use up these awesome word thickers. We were supposed to use 3 different sets. I wasn't able to get 3 on this page, but that's okay. It's a challenge. You don't always have to do it. You make it your own and make it work for you. But what I was able to do was use a lot of ephemera and a lot of stuff from my stash. So that was really exciting. And this again is just kind of documenting his first trip to the beach and how much he loved it. So I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out as well. And then here's this one. This is one of my favorite layouts of all times. I love this layout. I created it to do for the Mercy Tiara, the 27-day challenge that she does for her Facebook group that she has. And the challenge was to use something that you've been hoarding because it's just so pretty you don't want to use it. And for me, that is this beautiful piece of pattern paper. It is from Maggie Holmes, I believe, and I haven't actually owned it for that long, but I didn't want to use it. I was like, no, I'm just going to keep it and not use it and just look at it. But I decided, nope, I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to use it. And I found that it lent itself really well to these photos. That these 2 are actual photos, and this is the ticket from a Connects game that we got to go to. And it was our first date of the year, and I just kind of documented how we don't actually get to go on dates very often, so this is really special. And then just kind of did some embellishing throughout. I did little hints of gold and 2 little border things. So I really love this. It makes me happy, and I got a lot of little pieces used up, which is always nice. And then this one is my start to where I every once in a while I like to find a YouTuber or go on Pinterest and find someone that I really like and just kind of scrap lift from them and take inspiration from them. So I did that with Raquel Bowman for this month, the end of this month. A lot of these layouts are inspired by her. This one is definitely one of them. She has a layout about her daughter, and it's flipped, so this big circle is on this side. So I kind of rotated it to make it work for myself. And it's just talking about how Jackson held my hand when we went for a walk one day. And I just simply even used my journaling is what I had on my Facebook. So it just says, the perfect afternoon walk, he even held my hand. So it's really simple, but This photo just makes me so happy, and I really wanted to get it documented, so I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And I love how I added this striped border. I think it just kind of adds that perfect finishing touch to it. Here's another one inspired by her, and her original layout had I think it was a cup of coffee. I think she was documenting something along the lines of that. But I had this photo, and I was also using this for the Lucky Charm challenge on the Pink Camera Facebook group. And so I just I took inspiration from her original layout, kind of placed my photo in the same area. I love this little bit of photo corners that she had as well. So I took from that and then just titled it "You Never Have Too Much Happy." I know it says "You Never Can Have Too Much Happy." I missed a word in there, but I'm okay with the way it looked. And I took these stickers from something that I didn't like the way that they looked originally, and I just used some of my white embossing powder and just made the letters turn white instead of whatever color they were. And then of course I got a bunch of green on the page, which is supposed to be what the challenge was for the Pink Camera challenge. And I like this. And this is just a simple photo of myself that I took earlier this year. And it's just kind of documenting how it's nice that our life is back into a routine and we all seem to be settling in much better. So I'm happy. I really like the way that turned out. And then this is another one inspired by her. And she did hers for 2016. I'm sure you see this and you know exactly which one I'm talking about. And so I wanted to document this photo of Jackson during his first Christmas. And so I kind of just took the number idea. I did hand stitching, used a border strip and some really pretty glitter tape. And then I just kind of did a Maggie Holmes type thing where I just wrote my journaling all the way down at the bottom, like all the way down. And I like it. I have as you can tell, like this is the only embellishment I have. And so for me, I feel like, oh, I need more embellishing, but I'm going to leave it because I feel like maybe I would over embellish it and I don't want to over embellish. So it's just going to stay like that. And then get this back in focus here. This one is for the Get Sketchy episode that I do with Rachel two times a month as well. And this one was from a sketch, and I didn't take the sketch on completely other than the fact that I did the two photos the way they look. I really love this. And I've been wanting to document these photos and this story for quite a while, so I'm excited. I got to use this paper that I've been hoarding for this story, so again, really, it worked well. And it's just talking about how Jackson used a fox as a soother versus an actual soother. So that's all that it's talking about, a really simple story. But I love it, and again, I used up some of these letter thickers, and I got to use this a wood veneer here, this cute little fox, and a J, and just kind of did a little bits of embellishing, but mostly just wanted to get the story told. So there's that one. And this one I created, I was just having fun, and I'm really, really loving the way that it turned out. I wanted to create one more layout about this day. I think I've documented July 1st of 2015 on about 6 different layouts, but it was a really fun day and a lot happened, so I tend to have a lot of layouts about it. So these were the last two photos I had, and I just called it Summer Loving. And then a little tiny bit of journaling just about how it was definitely my favorite day of the summer because all my other layouts kind of talk about the rest of it. And I just used the photo I have of myself and Jackson, and then this is Sean and Jackson, and so our little family. A tiny, tiny bit of embellishing. I got to use up some of these. I have just a little bit left of this. I'm trying to use up this package. And so I just have a few more left, and then I'll be very excited when I can throw this away because I've owned this for a long time. And yeah, I like it. I used up this pretty anchor paper that added a little bit of black, and I'm not actually one that does black at the top. I normally find that's way too heavy, but for some reason on this layout I feel like it works, so I'm happy with it. I like it. It was inspired by Raquel's layout as well. She had a layout where she had two corners here and then a collection of stuff here, and I was working on it, but it wasn't working for me, so the two corners are actually this little green piece here and this here. and then it just kind of became its own thing, which you can always keep in mind when you start with inspiration. It may not always turn out like what you were scrap lifting, and it might turn into something that you do on your own, like this one, and I'm really, really happy with the way this turned out. And finally, I have this layout, which I also absolutely love the way it turned out. And again, very much inspired by a layout I saw Raquel, I think it's Raquel, she made, and I think it said Happy Day or something, but it's, what I loved is this layering of pattern paper, and this piece is my absolute favorite piece of pattern paper from the Wonder Collection by Crate Paper, and I've been hoarding it, trying not to use it, so it was good to get it used. And this too as well. I was waiting to use this to document Jackson's birthday, and so I was able to get his birthday, part of his birthday. His birthday will be a three layout thing as well, because this is about the walk we went on, and then I have one about his presents, and then just one about, I always scrapbook just him, like a picture of just him for his birthday for another album. So that's what this one's talking about, and not a whole lot of embellishing, just tiny bits here and there, because the photos kind of stand out on their own. And it's just talking about my mom and I were going to let him go for a nice long walk and let him just kind of run, and we got a little ways down, we're about the second house in, and he just stood there and decided, nope, I don't want to go for a walk. And so we kept walking thinking he'd follow us, and he didn't. He just stayed like that, and he stayed facing away from us for like 5 minutes. He absolutely refused. So we're like, okay, I guess we're not going for a walk. So we turned and started heading back towards the house, and then this little kitty showed up, and man, did he think that was the coolest thing ever. And it was a pretty friendly cat, like it wasn't really afraid of him. I can't remember if it let him touch him or not, but he was happy. So that, seeing the cat kind of just made his day. So there you have it. Those are the rest of my layouts for March. I hope you enjoyed this kind of layout overload month. It probably won't be quite as heavy next month, but I've had a lot of fun. And like I said, some of these layouts are by far some of my absolute favorite layouts I've ever made. So I'll just go through them one more time for you. And I hope that you've also gotten a lot accomplished this month. And I will be back. Let's see, it's Monday, and so I might have 1 or 2 more layouts done for this month. Not exactly sure. But I will for sure probably have a video up this week, and then I should have 2 up next week. So I'm trying to get back in a routine. I'm kind of losing myself a little bit, but I'm trying. So there we go, all my layouts for the month. Thanks everyone so much for watching, and I'll make sure to leave a link for the first half of my layouts as well. Bye everyone.